that you need to know for the deciduous forest. So if I'm going too fast, pause it, catch up, and then just restart the video, okay? So our first box is talking about the climate. Oh, and by the way, I read all of y'all's comments about what you thought the forests were, and I was so proud because some of y'all just recalled so much about the rainforest, and that is a forest for sure. And so I was so just happy that y'all recalled so much about the rainforest that we studied way at the beginning of the year. So that was super awesome to see all that. So this is still forest. It's similar to a rainforest because a forest is a bunch of trees. But it's just a different type of forest that we're going to cover this time. So if you remember, the rainforest got like a crazy amount of rain. I think it was like over 60 inches of rain a year. And these deciduous forests are just below that. They're still getting a lot of rain. 30 to 60 inches of rain per year. Okay, so they're still getting a lot of rain. Remember, we just came from, well, we did oceans, but before that we did the deserts, and they were getting like less than 10 inches of rain a year. So this is a big jump, and we'll see that in all the vegetation that we have compared to the vegetation of the desert. Okay. The other thing about deciduous forest is we have 4 distinct seasons. So we have our winter, and we have our spring, and we have our summer, and we have our autumn or our fall. So we have 4 seasons that we can distinguish throughout the year. Okay. And our winters are usually cold. And our summers are usually hot and wet summers. Okay. So that's our basic climate of our forests. Okay. And while you're reading, or if you read something and you want to add it to your notes about the climate or about anything that I didn't specifically add, feel free to add that into your page, distinguishing features. Because if we were together in class, then we would talk about this and we would add things as y'all came up with them in class, and we would add to what I've written. So feel free to add your own things if you know something that I'm leaving off. Okay, the most important distinguishing feature of a deciduous forest is that the trees have leaves that fall off in the fall or the autumn. Okay? And that is really what distinguishes a deciduous forest from what we're going to learn next is a coniferous forest. That's the number one distinguishing feature. So our trees have leaves that fall off. Okay? And we all know when those fall off. They fall off in the fall or the autumn. Okay? All right, our locations. It's hard to do this at home because I need a map. Let me see if I can find a map real fast. I should have been better prepared. A real teacher would be better prepared. Okay. Okay, we have Japan. Okay. So Japan, y'all learned about that in geography. Right here off the Asian coast, we have the Sea of Japan, and then here's our Pacific Ocean. Remember in our globe that wrapped around, and so we have the other part of our Pacific Ocean over here. So it's on this side of the Pacific Ocean, right off of our continent of Asia. Okay, we have Eastern China. Okay, so right where here's China, here's Japan. So it's just in the same little area. Okay, let's see if we can see a trend here. Western Europe. Okay. Here's Europe. So the western side would be right here of Europe. Asia. Just said Asia. So right here. So if you see, look at our band that we're making. We have these pockets of these deciduous forests. Here's our equator about. You know, our rainforests are right at our equator. Now we're going like a step up right above the rainforest. Okay. Eastern Australia. Oops. Eastern Australia. Good day, maybe. Okay. Eastern Australia. And Eastern North America. Okay. All right here. And when we think of, when we talked about mountains, we talked about those Appalachian Mountains that ran all through North America on the eastern side. Those are all deciduous forests that run along that Appalachian Mountain area. Okay. So those are where you would find our deciduous forests. All right, animals is next. We have birds. Our birds range from bald eagles, which you know are majestic animal of the United States, right? It's our symbol of the United States, is the bald eagle, all the way to a grouse, which is like a kind of like a chicken. Okay. So we have any kind of bird you probably think of: cardinals and blue jays and crows. Any bird you can probably think of pretty much lives in a deciduous forest. And why? Because they have plenty of trees to have their nests in. They have plenty of food to feed their babies and their families. So it's a lot of birds there. And then some of our mammals would be like our opossums. Black bears. Let's see. White-tailed deers. And squirrels are all examples of animals that we find. And of course, there's so many more. Those are just a few. Okay. I'm gonna run out of space here, so I'm gonna go back up here. Hopefully, I've all done this. If not, you can rewind. Our plants. We're almost done. We have trees, and this is the most important. Remember, this is our distinguishing feature of our deciduous forest. So this is the most important part. We have oak trees, maple trees, beech trees, elm trees. Any of those trees with the big broad leaves are going to be our trees that we have. So oak, maple, beech, elm, okay? And just like in our rainforest, we have the different layers in our forest. We have those same layers in our deciduous forest. So these would be like the canopy layer up on top, covering everything else, the canopy for everything else. And then we have like a shrub layer, and our shrubs are probably a bit bigger than like our bushes in our houses. These are almost tree-like. You know, they can be really, really big. They're like the rhododendron and huckleberries. I don't think I'm spelling that right. That's a hard one. That breaks so many rules. have flowers. These are going to be a lot of pretty wildflowers, like bluebells, primroses, which are just dainty little pink flowers on like vines. And then we have lots of mosses and fungi and ferns. That's what I was missing. Ferns and fungi. Okay. So it's going to be, remember we have our canopy. We get a lot of rainfall. So, and it's hotter in the summer and wet. So it's a perfect time for all these mosses and ferns and fungi to grow. That's what the kind of soil they like, the damp, hot, humid soil. All right. Okay, so I'm going to let you fill out the interesting facts. But one that I found interesting was that in California, in the redwood forests, some of those redwoods are over 3,000 years old. So that is pretty old. Can you imagine? I haven't been there. So if any of y'all have been there, it'd be cool to see like a picture or something of you with these redwoods, because I just imagine they're just like massive, like huge, like the size of our classroom at school or something, just enormous. Okay, so I'm going to put a flip grid up there for my 3rd and 4th graders, and once y'all flip grid me, and I'll put the question up there so you remember what an interesting fact about the deciduous forest that you figured out, okay? And my 5th and 6th graders, I'll post a spot to link, or you can just comment even just on the announcement page what an interesting fact that you found about the deciduous forest. And I will hopefully see y'all soon. I'm going to try and Zoom you guys on Friday. Okay, so we'll be looking for an announcement of when I'm going to Zoom you guys, because I have an activity I want to do together. I think that's the best way to do it. So until then, y'all take care. Text, email, call me if you need anything or have any questions, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.